Hello, I'm Walt Falconer, and we are spacewalking in the nation's capital. What do you think about the space program in general?
Well, in general, the space program has given us a lot of great technological benefits. It's employed a lot of people over the years, a lot of spin-off technologies, and provided us insights to the planet and the solar system and the world around us in general that we didn't have before.
It's a vital program for the country, always has been. When one looks at the fantastic, the satellites that we have, all of that's part of it. The computer systems we have, all of that came out of the space program. The miniaturization of everything, from what I've learned, came from the first space programs, and it's continued to do so. So they've spent a lot of money on certain things, but I think we've reaped billions of dollars from the technology that they've developed.
I think that the space program is very interesting, but I'm hoping that in the future that they will be able to explore more planets.
I like to see more money spent on poverty in the U.S. To be quite honest with you. And whatever happened since the last time you guys went to the moon? You guys are busy orbiting other planets instead of doing more exploration on the moon. I think that's more important.
Okay. How about you?
I still think there's a lot to be said for the space program because I'm in education and the kids love learning about space, and it's a real high interest point for the kids. But I also agree, I think there's a lot down on Earth that we need to do and work on our planet and our poverty and help people around here as well.
Well, it's fascinating. The entire, I've been watching stuff on cable on, the whole Big Bang Theory and them landing on first the moon in the 60s and now landing, doing the rovers out to Mars and flying around Europa and things like that. So it is pretty fascinating. I mean, I know that I don't know how it's all funded or who funds it, but I'd love to see it continue and get as far as they possibly can.
It seems that it's reached a plateau that we really haven't made the advances that we had in the 80s and 90s maybe.
Well, I really have great feelings about the space program because I grew up in the 60s and I remember watching so excitedly in my elementary school the spacecraft and the launches and just the way it's progressed and the amount of technology and the pride that it gives to our nation. I just think it's a really excellent thing for our country.
Well, NASA's getting ready to celebrate its 50th anniversary of the space program. What stands out in your mind over the last 50 years as a significant event?
I think the recent, just developments in space and the fact that we can see so much more now than we did before.
Yeah. I think the Mars and the Mars explorations as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we've learned a bit
we
about
did a lot
English.
on work on that. Yeah.
Well, I would think obviously just the fact that man was able to go into outer space is significant. From man landing on the moon to now man going into space is a more or less routine thing, where it would have been unheard of 50 years ago.
I thought going to the moon was very good. I think we've seen the moon. I think we have a pretty good understanding of Mars. I understand we've got a Pluto venture coming up. And I thought it was very interesting, all of these here people have decided Pluto doesn't really exist. It's too small to consider. So are we wasting money or is it going to be beneficial?
So do you think Pluto is a planet?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because it was a planet way before they decided it wasn't. And I think when they consider things as diminutive like Pluto, it's not really worth worrying about. I think there is significance there. I think the more we know of the universe, the better we are.
The obvious one would be the landing on the moon, and but then in my adult life now, I mean watching them send the rovers out, a couple rovers that they've sent out, and been watching some stuff on cable about the ice caps and whether there's any bacterial life and things like that, and them circling the moons on Jupiter and trying to figure out the storms on Jupiter, the eye on Jupiter, stuff like that. All that stuff is really fascinating. I mean, and that's all it's encompassed in their 50 years of their achievements and stuff. So yeah.
Significant event accomplished was definitely for me landing on the moon, and I think that the most poignant event were the crashes of the space shuttle. But to see how the country, felt such empathy for those astronauts and their family, really had an impact on me personally, for pride in my country and how our country does stand behind the space program and feels like it's significant.
For me, it's the going to the moon, because I was able to experience that since I'm the oldest one here.
And unfortunately for me, I guess it had to be the Challenger disaster, because I remember being in school and that happening, and they took us all out and we got to watch it on TV. But that was like the first time that something ever happened that we really knew about it when it came to space exploration.
Now, what would you like to see them accomplish in the next 50 years?
I'd like to see I think they have a current goal of landing on Mars within the next, I don't know what it is, 15 or 20 years or whatever. That would be awesome to see, and to be able to see maybe our kids and I don't have any grandkids yet, but my kids at least, maybe they will have the opportunity, or my grandkids, to actually fly out there themselves and spend a week out there as if they were, flying out to Europe for vacation.
Continue pushing out into space and in doing so develop more technology.
That's a good
I
question.
think it would be great if some of the technology that they are using can be used for us on Earth. So whatever they're using to discover different ideas and investigations, whatever we can use to help make the Earth a better place.
Well, I think that they've come along so much with like technological advances that we can use in everyday life. I'd just like them to continue to develop things that we can basically use, and technology that'll better our life, and maybe reaching out and finding new scientific advancements in outer space.
Start the program that they want to do to send someone to Mars, and see if they can accomplish that. I think that'd be a great effort.
I'd like to see them go to different planets that they haven't gone to yet, in faster times to other planets.
That's it for spacewalking. See you around the planet.